Hi, my name is Liudas Butkus, and in this episode of What to Hodl, I want to do a review of Zero Carbon Project. I have done several reviews of energy projects on my channel already. The first one being Power Ledger, another one being WePower, and Restart Energy. Now, how does Zero Carbon Project differ? Well, firstly, Power Ledger is mostly focusing on peer-to-peer trading of energy. When your neighbor has a solar plant and he has excess energy, he can then sell it to you. That's what Power Ledger is doing. WePower is focusing on grouping investments uh, into renewable energy, into building new solar plants, and then tokenizing that future energy and selling it to consumers. Restart Energy is focusing on creating franchises where it basically creates a framework for new energy suppliers to start selling energy. Now, Zero Carbon Project is creating a market where all the suppliers can compete with each other in price, driving the price of the electricity down. And they are also giving different incentives to use zero carbon or renewable energy. So all these projects that I mentioned are actually different, even though they are in the energy market, but they all are pretty interesting and they are tackling a different aspect of energy and this different aspect of going green, on going for green energy and saving on electricity. So let's talk a little bit more about Zero Carbon Project. So in their white paper, they recognize that all these other projects, ICOs that I mentioned, they are more focused on the future. The peer-to-peer market of electricity that Power Ledger is looking forward to create is not yet done yet, and it might take several years for it to go to fruition. WePower, again, the projects, they have different projects, but the one that investing into renewable energy projects, that also takes a lot of time. And Zero Carbon Project actually is doing a market, and it can have an effect on the prices and an effect on how much renewable energy is used immediately upon release of the market, which is not going to be far away in the future. I will talk about the roadmap in a bit. So yeah, the zero carbon market is all the suppliers are competing for customers in their market, and basically because there is a market, which in most of the countries there's everything centralized and their consumers don't really have any choice, then the market by itself, as being a competitive market, drives the prices down. Also, they are utilizing carbon credits, which companies need to buy if they are emitting carbon to the atmosphere. So this helps renewable energy providers that are not emitting CO2 to have an advantage, because actually the renewable energy is still not cheap enough for its massive adoption. It still needs to be subsidized, and this is how carbon credits come into place. So this allows to have cheaper renewable energy, and that again, consumers are able to choose whether they want carbon-free energy or they want it from fossil fuels if it's cheaper, so whatever. So they are creating this market, which will have an effect on how people use the energy. So yeah, that's basically how it all goes. And another aspect that they are also introducing is uh, that they will have a token, because this is obviously an ICO. So how will the token be utilized? So all the energy suppliers will need to pay the fees in US in the energy's tokens. So the tokens go into smart contracts, and they are then rewarded back for the consumers uh, as a bonus for consuming zero carbon energy. And then they can sell it for real money in crypto exchanges, and then the suppliers again need to buy those because they will be paying fees in the energy's tokens. So there's this circulation, and as there are more and more suppliers registering in this zero carbon market, and the value of the token grows, and basically consumers can uh, get rewarded with these tokens, and that's another incentive for them to use zero carbon energy. So that's the basic idea of all of this. And what I wanted to talk about next is basically their team. Their team is basically most people are from the company called Beyond, which is in the energy market for around 20 years. They work with businesses, helping them to source the best deals for their energy requirements, to find the best energy suppliers. So basically, this whole team is now launching this ICO, and basically shifting, and well, not shifting, but opening another business, which instead of is focused on consumers instead of businesses. So, and they have a pretty good track record working with the biggest companies in the UK, helping them to find suppliers for their electricity needs. And most of the team comes from Beyond. Uh, Derek Myers, he's the CEO, uh, and I think he is from the Beyond. Most of these people are from the Beyond team. There is Ethereum smart contract advisor and developer, which for obvious reasons had to come into the team to help with all the smart contracts for the ICO and stuff like that. So I covered most of the idea and the whole team. You can read about all of them. They are very specialized in the energy markets. They know what they're doing with energy. They know the sector very well. So I don't see the need to go one by one in their specialties, but overall they are a part of a huge company in this sector. So that's that. And then I want to go through the roadmap. So in Q1, complete zero carbon market software, deploy test smart contracts, deploy energy's token contract, deploy token sales smart contracts, basically all the preparation for the ICO. And they are targeting crypto consumers and energy suppliers in UK. In their white paper, they mentioned that they already have 11 energy suppliers registered for this zero carbon market, and they are ready to launch the market in October 2018. So it's not going to be long after the ICO that they will have a running product. So that's really key for this ICO. And then continuing on with the roadmap, so launch the zero carbon market, register 1,000 households, modify the market software for Australian market, I do believe there might be some different regulations, stuff like that, so they will need to tweak it. Start registering energy suppliers in Australia, again 2018 Q4. So, and they are planning to launch in Australia a similar market to the one in the UK in 2019 Q1, which is again not that far ago, not too far away. So that's very reassuring about this ICO. And further plans are to modify the market for Germany, Texas, and US East Coast markets, register energy suppliers and then grow consumer base to 3,000 households, add more features, implement blockchain scaling solutions, launch zero carbon market in Germany, Texas, and US East Coast markets. And they are not detailing when it will happen. It might be later on because it's actually hard to guess how fast are they going to reach the agreements and stuff like that. Energy suppliers in the rest of the world, launch zero carbon market in France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Canada, Japan, and New Zealand markets. Grow consumer base to 30,000 households. So actually they have a lot of plans for 2019. They might be a little further down the road. I'm not too sure will they be able to launch these many markets within a year's time. We'll see. But even if they launch the UK and Australia market, I would be very happy with this ICO, and because they are doing this very, very quickly. So yeah, I think I mentioned most of the stuff. So just to recap, they are doing a market of energy suppliers where consumers can come and find the best deals for electricity. They are incentivizing to use renewable energy by offsetting with carbon credits, and they are also incentivizing people to use the market with energy's tokens that they get rewarded, and they are designed in a way to increase in value over time. And also there are different bonuses to join the market, to invite people to the market, and they are rewarded with the tokens as well. So this is it for this ICO. It's definitely an interesting one. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and to find more videos like this in my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.